Greetings. Okay, so lighting might be a little strange. It is nighttime. Well, actually, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning because I just got off from work not that long ago. So I'm taking my time and delivering a message to the heart. Okay, so this is going to be Heart Therapy Tuesday reading and all February long. In case you guys don't know, I will be doing love readings on specific days of the week. Um, Exclusive 18 plus spicy content on my Patreon. So if you guys are interested in those type of readings, make sure that you guys become a member on my Patreon. And every Thursday, we'll have those exclusive 18 plus reads. And I have some love readings specials that will be having available soon for February, and I will be doing a giveaway as well. So stick around for more information on that. So just go ahead and make sure your notifications are on. If you guys are new here and you resonate with the channel, the vibes, check out my playlist and find, playlist that resonates with you. My love vibes playlist, my pick a card playlist, whatever may resonate with you. And if you like the vibe, just go ahead and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate the engagement. All right, so let's go ahead and tap in. Sometimes I channel, sometimes, I channel without the cards, that is. So I might go into a whole like spiel, share a story or a testimony or two. So yeah. Whoa, goodness. Okay, the move card and the flow card. So you have Chariot energy with the Wheel of Fortune energy. Okay. Your heart is guiding you. I feel like you're learning to trust yourself more, where your heart is guiding you, where it's leading. And there's something around commitments or where you're placing your commitments at this time, where your heart is, concerned. What are you committed to? If it's people, it doesn't have to be commitment in a romantic sense either. I mean, this can resonate in different types of ways. Okay, so let's see, Spirit. God, these cards. I shuffle all types of crazy, so bear with me. You have coming together, Two of Cups energy. Yeah, so it's like who you extend your energy to is a big thing for you right now. And like I said, this does not have to just be platonic. I feel like you learn to love parts of yourself. There is something about healing when it comes to father wounds as well that I'm picking up on. Some of you guys might make amends with your father, especially. Well, I don't even want to separate this and say that it's just for a woman, because I do feel like this can also resonate with a man as well. Um, there's some sort of wisdom here, and your relationship to spirit, that protective fatherly aspect of Source God. I feel you're connecting with God on a different level. There's like a pearl of wisdom. So some of you guys may come to know more about your parents' background, their history, whether it's like their upbringing, why they are the way that they are. There's understanding about that in relations to you and your upbringing. Like, these could be beautiful things you learn about them, or these could be things that are a little bit tough to hear, tough to digest, triggering things. But for the most part, regardless of whatever it is helping you to expand when it comes to love, loving yourself, allowing yourself to be loved. It's like trusting that inner compass within yourself. I also feel like this baptism energy. So some of you guys may literally, some of you guys may have actually gotten baptized. If you guys are Christians or born again Christians, I mean, if you here watching this channel, hey, it's interesting. Hey, no judgment, but hey. So some of you guys, it could just be like your own spiritual cleansing. This could just be a metaphor. It doesn't have to be that you did anything with water cleansing healings, baptisms. It just could be you stepping in faith and purification and being born again as a person. So this is a beautiful energy, and I feel a lot of heart expansion. I feel like you guys are coming into harmony and balance within both parts of you, that um, your feminine and masculine self is coming into harmony and coming into balance. That could also, for those of you, when it comes to your partnerships, being able to integrate or being able to, balance your connections out, whether that's like learning the art of equal give and take, not over giving or taking too much or expecting too much of people without, being able to reciprocate that same energy back. Wherever you fall into the category of this, there's a balance in your partnerships, your connections, or future ones. So some of you guys may be learning how to receive or how to give more in love, okay, through giving to yourself first. Um, do you give too much to yourself and kind of selfish with your energy, or do you give too little to yourself and not enough, um, self-care, self-love, self-appreciation, self-acknowledgement, you know? Um, I knew spirit. I felt it all night. Like spirit, I know God is gonna make me talk about this. And it's uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable like in a bad sense. I just feel like sometimes people don't want to hear me talk about myself or my situations, but I only do that because it is kind of uncomfortable for me even in the first place to do that. But I know that when I do it, it's because I'm supposed to share something, some type of helpful message, experience, or testimony, or whatever. So, like, I would say, in all honesty and transparency, like, Valentine's Day is one of those days that can be kind of triggering for me. And I had this habit of always saying, oh, this is my last Valentine's Day being single. So, not to go into too much detail in my business and stuff like that, but if you've been following me long enough, you know um, that I've been single for almost a decade. Damn. Yeah, my baby she was like 4. She was in preschool. Yeah, since the last time. Like, not to say that I haven't like dated, but it wasn't nothing serious. It didn't surpass maybe like a couple of months, nothing serious. So, but it's been a while even then. So like intimacy, not just sexually, but like actually holding hands with somebody, kissing, just being loved up on like romantically by a man, just romantic partnership. It's been close to, I want to say, like, if not 6 years, at least 5, right? I just stopped counting. But in that process, I've really had to, and still am learning to not look at singleness as a death sentence. And I feel like I've grown a bit too comfortable sometimes being single, because like I do enjoy my own company, even though of course that desire for partnership is there. I'm not like, pressed or obsessed in a sense of like I have to have someone to the point where I just take whatever comes my way or whoever comes my way and open my legs up to whoever. It's just like I can surpass the need to get that, kitty cat scratched by putting myself in center and being like, I don't want to hook up with somebody just some random shit, or I know it's not, I don't want to get into no situationships. Like, if no one's going to invest in me, getting to know me, like even to the point for me to even discern or dissect or vet whether we like each other or not, enough to even get into a connection with each other and builds upon that, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not giving my precious energy and my body away. So, that's that. And um, just knowing how to utilize my time. So I say all this to say that it's been very difficult, because when not so much for the part of, oh, I don't have anyone on Valentine's Day, because yeah, it's a made up holiday, as people say, and it might have a history behind it that's not so romantic. But collectively, when we put our energy into something and we believe in it, it's a real thing. It's a holiday. So, it's become an actual holiday to us. So um it is what it is. Like, it's a love day for everybody. So it can be triggering for people that are single. And I'm not one of those people that want a Valentine's and want somebody to take me out just because I just want that. Like, no, I would prefer it to be something meaningful from somebody that I actually care about or I'm with or interested in. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that, it's more of the triggers of my past experience. So this is where I feel like spirit is making me bring this all up, why it's hard sometimes to receive love, um be triggered by giving your heart to people versus like experiencing people not being loving. So like my Valentine's Day experiences have, I can only name on one occasion that I actually had like okay, I guess I appreciated it at the time for what it was. Um my ex, so this was like the last person that I was like actually in a relationship with for 6 years. Like the first Valentine's Day we had was cute. Like he got me like, the typical shit, some flowers, a teddy bear type thing, and a big ass. It was like a big Valentine's Day card. And we just spent time together. We didn't go out, we didn't do nothing. We ordered food, watched movies, and stuff like that. And I appreciated it. Fast forward every other Valentine's Day, it was always something dramatic going on. We was fighting, just I don't even want to share the rest because I had like a really embarrassing experience. And it's really goes to show that I did not love myself. I did not love myself at all. I mean, I shouldn't say at all, but not enough to require the person I was with to, respect me in a lot of ways. We were just not good for each other, period. But I don't even want to share this story, but it was so embarrassing. Like, it was like I was so desperate to do something on Valentine's Day with him that I don't even want to share it. It was so bad. Like, basically, I paid for our dinner because, like, this dude he's something else. Anyway, yeah, I was like, just, just nah, just didn't know my worth. So every Valentine's Day, like, it's triggering because I've never experienced that, someone that really cared to do something nice for me. Like, my parents would be my Valentines. Like, when I was younger, my parents would always buy me something for Valentine's Day or get me some flowers or a teddy bear or something cute. But like romantically, nah, I've never, except for that one occasion, like it wasn't too much thought, it was never anything sentimental or romantic. So it's very hard to receive love sometimes because you know, you don't know what that feels like. And the one time that I can say that I have experienced maybe where someone showed me that they really did care about me and to the point where I didn't trust it. I constantly tested it till the person got tired and was just like, call me out for it. And it showed me that I was not ready to receive love. I wasn't ready to, like, just let alone someone that was genuinely interested in me. I was not receptive to that. Like, I thought I was, but to actually have that energy, poured into me, it didn't resonate. So I feel like God uses my sister friends to be that source of love, to be that source of like pour into me to where it doesn't feel too pressuring. Like it's coming from a man, so it must be, they're after something. Or they say this to other women, like I'm just another one, like it's nothing special, it's just another line. So those are the things I had to surpass and still am working through. And honestly, even with like my sister friends, sometimes like because of the trauma and wounds around that, it's hard, you know, it's not as hard as receiving men, but it was hard still to receive that, genuine love and support from girlfriends. And when they would say they love me, like that's not something that I heard in my household, and I've shared this before. So it was very hard to accept that fully. And it really goes down to, do you feel like you're worthy? Because if someone's genuinely telling you that they love you or that they're proud of you or they appreciate you, or if it's a man saying that they're interested and you're going like, it's because there's a part of the self that doesn't believe it's worthy. And I had to come to terms with that. So this rebalancing is like, it could feel foreign to you to receive, because maybe some of you guys, like, it started with your parents, maybe, or a parent. Whoa, all these freaking cards trying to fly out. Long story short, you guys, because that was long-winded. So I say that to say that I had to still, I'm not going to say like I'm completely like well versed in this of receptivity, because I don't feel led to pull all these. I don't feel like that. Those are cards. Um, you're learning to find balance in these energies, you know, and to trust yourself. Inner calling with the Judgment card. This is, these are the goddess, mystical goddess cards. So that goddess that came out is Rhiannon. Can't remember. I think it's a Celtic goddess. But you have the Four Pentacles with Copunus. Copunus. Oh my goodness. Not them putting words in here. Two of Cups with fulfillment. So you have the Two of Cups technically twice. So it's the King of Pentacles with wisdom. Yeah, okay. So there is something about you learning about your fathers, okay? Learning something about them. Maybe you appreciate them more, or for some of you, it's like your first love was your father as a woman, you know, or as a man. Like, you learned how to love through your father, whether that was beautiful or whether it was something that was toxic, and you're healing from this, okay? Spirit wants you to let go, be receptive, be open to receiving. You have this inner call there. This inner call could be shedding light upon what keeps you stuck, what keeps you blocked from love. The Ace of Wands with creativity. The Ten of Swords with growth. Yeah, it's not the end. Juno with the Hierophant, spiritual wisdom. And Juno does rule the I guess, like, the placement in your chart of like marriage, or like an ideal partner or marriage partner for you. So I feel like there's ways that you can heal this. So Spirit is like, use your divine intuition. And there's a peacock here in the High Priestess. So this is like that confidence energy, finding your confidence again, or pouring more into yourself. So, oh God, I can't stand that. I'm going to just share it. Some of y'all probably just going to click off, or if you haven't clicked off already, because it's like, bitch, we don't want to hear about your story. Anywho. So I felt led to do this because, like, Valentine's Day, I work on Wednesdays. So it's like, obviously. So if obviously Valentine's Day falls on a Wednesday this year. So I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I was just gonna be like, I'm just going to work anyway. It's just gonna be another day for me. It is what it is. I already know, like, it's just gonna be one of them days. So I'm not even gonna waste my time. But my daughter was like, telling me that we should do something, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll take the day off and we can do something. So I decided that I was gonna take my daughter and my little sister out for sushi, because our favorite sushi spot, they have like little special stuff that they do on Valentine's Day, or they have like some type of special menu or whatever on Valentine's Day. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll take the girls. My daughter gets off early on Wednesday, so we could you know, go out. And I was going to get all cute, get all dressed up, get fly, and go take myself out to my favorite spot and listen to some live music, some poetry, a little jam session, and just enjoy myself. And I feel like that's a creative way of healing. And again, like, I don't look at Valentine's Day and it's depressive energy of like, oh, I don't have a man. It's just more so like, it triggers those feelings of like things that I've experienced, and not feeling worthy of love, for someone to even think of me in a sense like, oh, I'm gonna do something special for her. Like, it would trigger those types of feelings. That type of energy comes up. And I feel like the balancing of the healing, I guess you could say, the growth with the Ten of Swords, like taking the pain as a thing of growth, creatively shifting the energy, because I feel like your higher self knows the way. It knows what you need, and doesn't always have to be this tedious thing where it's like, okay, I'm going to sit in the corner and cry and write a letter to my exes of, I forgive you. Unless that's how you feel, unless you feel led to do all of that, it could literally just be you doing something special for someone else. Like, I like doing stuff for other people. That makes me feel good. But sometimes, like, if you overgive to yourself or overgive to others, it's like you forget about you. So if you're someone that, there's nothing wrong with giving back to others, but make sure that you remember yourself. Okay. So that word that I could not pronounce with the Four of Pentacles, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Um, but this word represents abundance and supply or quantity. So the Four of Pentacles can be like that miser energy. So it's like giving a little to yourself. You're not going to, so you might have this perception like if you give to yourself is selfish, or if I just give a little here, a little there, then I have some for later. And Spirit's like, if it be that, I feel like I don't know how to explain this. I'm trying the best way that I can to describe this, because it kind of feels like you give so freely to others, like without any, it's like you'll give your last dime, but when it comes to yourself, it's like, oh, I can't give myself that last dime, I got to save that for later, I'll sacrifice it. And it's like Spirit's like, you have to twist that perception of kind of making yourself the last result, like the last on your list, because you have to know your worth and your value in order to even show up to others. Because when you don't know what you're worth, and I've said this in other readings before and other messages, that when you price yourself down, it makes those who are cheap, you know, um, easily able to afford you when they don't deserve to afford you, versus where you know your value and you're priceless. But let's say like you're priced, you want to aim high. You don't want to make yourself receptive to low. You're not, as one of my good friends say, my good sis, she says, low hanging fruit. You're not low hanging fruit. You don't want to be something that someone just easily can just pick up and just take and not know and understand the value of you, appreciate you in the way that you deserve. Okay. You're much more than that. And I pray that for those of you that struggle to see your worth and your value, and for the singles out there, you are not, it's not a death sentence. Like, I wish the day that people would shift the mindset around things being a death sentence, because that's not what it is. Being single, especially, it's just another milestone of your life. It's, your time will come. If it's meant for you to be with someone, if it's a desire of your heart, there will become a season where it will come around. And there's this post that I seen. So basically what I've been like seeing all day today is like things coming full circle. And these are all things that I came across on social media. Like, social media and me have like a love-hate relationship. I could find beautiful things in it just as much as I can be like, okay, this is some toxic ass shit. This is a demonic space. Like, fuck social media. But no. uh, so this, like, three different posts. So actually, no. One of my sisters, like two of them, two separate sisters. One of them, she sent me a text message with, it was like a TikTok video, and it was like a clip talking about, I think her name was Victoria Monet. She won, I think she won a few Grammys last night, if I'm not mistaken. So anywho, she was saying in her acceptance speech about how she waited 15 years to get to this place that she was. And the girl that was doing the commentary, she was like, basically she was saying like all the people in the Bible that had to go through seasons of certain things in order to even get to where they were. Like, it wasn't something that happens overnight. Like, we get caught up in the microwave success that we forget, that there's those times where things don't always come immediately. Like, you have to go through those seasons sometimes, right? So it was like a full circle moment for her. And Um, the other thing was one of my sisters sent me something on Instagram, and it was a woman that recorded herself saying, "I'm gonna marry this man. If I don't marry him, I'm gonna be so sad. Like, this guy, if it's not him, I'm gonna be so devastated." So basically, she was like recording herself, and then she did like it was like a reel, and then fast forward, her and that man, that same man, are married, and it was just like a full circle. Like, you know, that was, yeah, I guess it was their third date, and she was like, "If I don't marry this man right now, like God," and I didn't get desperation, but at first when I first watched, I was like, "Oh God," I was cringing. I was like, "Oh my God, what is this gonna lead to?" And then it skipped to her wedding, and I was like, "Oh, okay, full circle moment." And then another post, like same night, I'm scrolling and I see this post of Fantasia, and I guess Fantasia, she performed at the Grammys as well, and she did a Tina Turner tribute. And someone said this was a beautiful full circle moment, and it showed her first audition with American Idol, where that was the song that she was singing, "Proud Mary" by Tina Turner. That was her song that she was singing. Like, wow, like, full circle moments. Like, so I don't know what that means for you, but it's like this energy. I feel like it'll make sense if it's meant for you, and however it's meant to resonate with you. So full circle. Those moments that things come together and they make sense. And I feel like your season of where you feel like, don't be in that desperate state. Like, you're going, just relax and enjoy, where you are, enjoy the journey. And I know sometimes we can get anxious, to get to that peak, to that place, or anxious to know the future, anxious to know, oh, how is it going to happen? How is it going to unfold? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? And I got to that obsessive place where I was so worried about, like, is it going to happen for me? Is it going to happen for me? To the point where I would get kind of like sad and be like, you know what? I don't think love is for me, because I don't have no proof or evidence in my experiences that I was worthy of love. If I looked at it, it's like, you're too much. You run people off. See, this is what you do. Or if a man's calling you, names and treating you bad, putting his hands on you, and he is doing this and doing that, and I'm like, well, is something wrong with you? Because it's like, I know people that are far more worse than that treat their men like shit, or, just, doing some whole shit, but they're able to find somebody. And not saying that it's a good relationship always, but it's like, you get in that space where you'll find an excuse to blame yourself, instead of saying those experiences, happened. What are you going to learn from it? What are you going to take from it? And understand that those were not the right people for you. You were not the right people for them, or person for them. Instead of looking at it, oh, is I'm not good enough, or see, this is proof of why love is never going to happen. Like, that was a dark space of energy that I had to come to realization and healing, and still, truthfully, honestly, still working through. Like, I ain't going to like project and pretend like I've mastered that fully. No, I've realized it, and I've come a long way from that type of healing. I have to catch myself when I get into that mindset. But no, my thing, I'll say this for whoever this may resonate with, my story resonates with you, and in any kind of way. If you are single, do something for yourself that day if you can. Genuinely, like, because dating yourself, people might look at it as lame, because people just think having a man or just having a woman, regardless of the situation, is better than not having a person, which is that's that is some weak shit, in my opinion. To say that because you're trying to validate having somebody is better than being with yourself, which is that's not healthy. So if you can enjoy yourself, and the feelings of desiring a partnership, that does not cede, it doesn't cease to exist. Like, that feeling is going to be there. That's natural, because that's a desire of your heart. It's a desire of your heart. Okay. But the thing is like, do you love yourself? Because when you get into a relationship, guarantee you 100%, 1000%, one thing is sure, is that you're not going to love yourself just because you're in a relationship. You're still going to go into the relationship with those issues, those problems where you don't feel like you're good enough. You're going to ask questions like, oh, does this person really love me? What if they're cheating on me? Like, you're not going to be settled because you're not settled within yourself. And yes, sometimes our partners can be the catalyst to kind of help us through those things, because I don't feel like we're just meant to just be perfect in a relationship. There's things that the right person will push you to grow and to heal, right? Or inspire that change inside of you. The right person will do that. The right people in your life will do that, not just romantic partners. So I don't believe that we have to be fully this perfect healed person. But make no mistake that if you think that you can't stand your own existence right now and you feel unworthy and this and that, just because you have a man or woman is not going to take that away from you. And if that man does anything or that woman does anything slightly to make you question whether you're worthy, or they break up with you, God forbid, or they cheat on you or something like that, you're going to feel worthless again because you place your worth in somebody else's hands. You cannot do that. And a lot of women, the I's married now women, they place their worth on that ring, that title of being a wife, even though that man may not be the man that's for them. And they look down on other women that don't have it. And it's like, it's a sad energy. I don't know what's wrong with people that be doing that type of shit. I just don't get it. Um, it's not a death sentence to spend time with yourself and get to know you and to love yourself, and to do things for you. And it's not a bad thing, and it's not a death sentence. It's not something to be shamed. It's not a scarlet letter on you. You know what I mean? So do something special for you that day. Like I said, like I'm gonna do the energy extend of giving, to my daughter and to my sister, doing something sweet for them. But I'm gonna take myself out and I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna get cute. I'm gonna get dressed and do do me and be present in the moment. You know, like it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be all about somebody else, especially if it's not the right person. Like that's what I like. That's what brings me back down to earth too. It's like I don't just want to spend Valentine's just oh some random dude. Oh, I'm gonna take you out. It's just like okay, I just went out just on Valentine's. Like I look at it as a love day. Yeah, I could take it as like oh somebody appreciating you, they treating you, but no, that's the thing. Like that's another thing. Like I can't speak for all the other ladies, but I'm that type of person that if I'm not into you like that, or I don't even feel like a little interested to like I'm not gonna waste your time because I'm not wasting my time. So I'm definitely not gonna waste your time. That's probably why I'm single. I'm just not. I just can't. I can't do it. I just can't. I can't. I have to have some type of attraction and then lead to figure out if I even like your ass. Like I'm not about to force myself. Oh, he asked me out, or oh somebody want to take me out to dinner. Like, bitch, I could cook my own meal. Or I could take myself out. I'm not gonna waste homie's time. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. But no, like if you're in a relationship, this could also be a message to you to not forget your self identity. And if you guys like, because I hate to call women out, but sometimes we could be a little selfish on Valentine's Day where we make it this thing of like we're the only partner that wants to be shown appreciation. And lingerie and all that shit, like that's cute and everything, but that doesn't that's just one spectrum of like, you know, intimacy and letting your partner know that you love them or you're into them, whatever the level of your connection is. Like you don't think that person wants to feel, some type of appreciation too. And if it's this imbalance, like you got to be honest with yourself. Maybe you're the overgiver in your relationship. There's something about this energy where it's talking about balance and equal give and take that I feel like they want you to come into realization about within yourself. Okay. And again, it goes back to some type of part like parental energy. Okay. So let me pull from the Aphrodite. That's a advice card because I feel like we talked long enough, and I mean it's a therapy reading, so I don't know like if anybody got anything healing from my story. Like it's so cringy sometimes when I share, but you know I'm transparent as best as possible as I'm led because I'll be like I don't want to say this, but I have to, because I feel like it's good to hear sometimes because like you can assume that assume just because a person, I don't know, like let's say for instance you watch a tarot reader or someone that you may think that has the answers because we got a fucking tarot deck or we have gifts, we know all the answers. No, we don't. And we're still figuring out life. We're still human. I'm still human. you know I'm still a person, a human with desires and needs, wants and needs, and I don't have it all figured out all the time, and I'm still figuring out. So when it comes to self-love, the journey of loving yourself, there's those tough spots where it's easy sometimes, and then there's those tough spots where it's not always easy to embrace and love those parts of yourself, or to allow. Part of self-love is also allowing yourself to be loved too. That's not always the easy thing, and that part of my self-love journey, that's also it. And it goes back to self-worth. Do you believe that you're valuable? And if not, what tells you that you're not? What in your life experience, or who told you that you were not worthy? you know So you have Autumn and you have Lady of the Earth. So Lady of the Earth says, "My beautiful child, Venus also rules over Taurus, which is an earth sign. Now is the time to connect with this aspect and be more grounded and sensual. Being in nature would benefit you now." So sensual does not, you know, most people associate that with like sexiness and sex and all of that. But sensuality just means to be tapped into your senses. And to me, that means to be present with the world around you, where you're listening, where you're paying attention, you're listening, you're what you're viewing, you're taking it in more, what you're tasting, you're taking time to savor it, to really, your smell, like you're present, what you touch, what you feel. It's like present in all aspects in your mind and what's going on in your heart, what your body is doing and feeling. Like spirit wants you to do that. It's almost like when people take certain drugs and it makes them really heightened, and it might heighten things that are uncomfortable. It might make you feel a sense of ecstasy. You feel like out of body. So it's like spirit wants you to be present, okay? More present, ground your energy. Autumn, it says, "My dear child, your question has to do with autumn. This also marks a time when all of your hard work bears fruits and you can finally reap your rewards. Your resilience pays off." Again, that full circle. Remember, I was saying like it takes time and the groundwork. So do not mistake that the things that you've done have been in vain. The love that you gave is in vain, or the work that you're doing on yourself, or the time that you've spent with yourself is in vain, because it is not. There's going to come a time where you're going to be like, dang, I wish I would have did more of this and did more of that. And it doesn't have to be about, oh, I wish I would have went out with more men or women or slept with more people. Or it could be like, I wish I would have took that class, or I would have traveled here. Not to say that you can't do that with your person, but or I really miss those days where I could just lay in bed all day and just look crazy or whatever. It could be something so simplistic, because I've been getting this message for it keeps popping up, so I have to say it again. Some of you guys are not going to be single for long. You're not. And it's beautiful when it comes to pass, because it's going to feel, surreal, and you're going to maybe be a little bit scared at the level or the depth of how a person will love you, because you've never experienced it. So it's like be ready, be prepared for that, because it may come before you actually think you're ready. And I keep getting that message. Like I say these things to encourage y'all, like not like it's just coming from my ass, encourage like, oh, I'm just gonna say some shit to like make you feel good, but when I do these videos and these readings, I talk about love because I've inspired to by Source God, but it excites me and it gives me joy and passion. And it's that part of myself that likes to give, but to remind people that you can have a healthy, loving relationship. It exists, it is possible. And I feel like I more so speak for people that don't necessarily believe that it's possible for them. They may believe it's possible for others. You may try to convince yourself, like, yeah, I know it's possible for me, but you don't really exude that energy because it's hard. And that's where the healing messages come in. Why I talk about the things that I talk about, or I'm led to share my story, or some of the messages may be heavy because it's meant to shed light on the things that are not healthy, the things that are blockages to you, the connections that you may be entertaining that are not good for you, because you deserve that. If you've been in a cycle of toxicity, or you just seen your mom or your parents, whatever, whoever, be in relationships that were dysfunctional, or boyfriends, girlfriends in and out of the home, or just dysfunction around you, to where that's something that you have taken on and try to make it make sense or work out, and your spirit and your soul is like, no, but you tell yourself, oh, it's just a fairy tale. Oh, you people are just obsessed with love. No one's perfect. And true, no one's perfect. But there are people that are right for you, that are perfect for you. Even when you guys have flaws, it's like, it's not a toxic type of imperfection. It's not the painful things where you're not accepted and loved and embraced in a connection, where you're being called a bitch, or you're being told you're too this or you're too that, or you're not enough of that, or you're getting cheated on, or you just got to accept that, oh, all men cheat. Like, no, that's not true. Or dealing with women that just discard you, or just think of you as just a prop, or a financial stability for them, or whatever it is. Like, you have to free yourself of those constraints, because I do believe that if you stuck it out this long, you do want healthy love within yourself too, not just with someone else, or your friendships, or your family dynamics with your children or your future children. You want that healing within yourself. And it starts with you. Every relationship you have starts with you. And I'll speak from experience firsthand that you cannot be in a relationship and think that it's going to wash away all of your insecurities and your fears. It is not. It heightens it more. That's already there. If you have, if you're blessed to have a person, whether that be a lifelong partner or a seasonal partner that comes into your life to show you where you need healing, where they lovingly help you, they talk you through it, they speak life into you, they're patient with you. And granted, some people are not going to have that patience for long. So don't exploit it, or just take advantage of it, or take for granted, but it will highlight it more. It's not going to just dissipate. Oh, I have a man or I have a woman now. No, it's going to heighten that shit even more. One of my married friends said this, that her fear of losing her partner, or it was like she had this little fear inside of her. She knew her man was a good man. She kept saying, I know he's a good man, but I have these fears. I have, and it heightened more when she was with him. They had to work through that. So don't just think that, oh, if I just get into a relationship, I'm just gonna have self-love or self-worth or self. No, you're not. It's not gonna just go away overnight. That connection, being in that union, is going to call you to actually be about it. And are you about that life? If you're not about it, it's going to be uncomfortable for you. Your person is not going to be perfect. So it's like, we have to take people off of a pedestal sometimes. Like, they're human too. Like, yes, I can adore and love this person, but they're human too. They have insecurities, they have fears, they have things. And it's like, you have to see yourself as human, see them as human. And it helps to kind of like ground you and help you both to be more accepting of yourselves and accepting of each other too. This season that you're in, it holds so much wisdom. It really does. And it's going to bless someone later. Like I tell people this all the time. Like your pain is just, don't just look at it as woe is me, because it's a testimony. Like the things that you've gone through and you've gotten through them, you're growing through them now, will be a testimony to someone later. I guarantee you, the women that I shared those examples, like the Fantasia, I bet you she didn't see in a million years that she would, that full circle moment of her performing a tribute, singing that same song that she auditioned American Idol, she would be performing that at the Grammys as a tribute to Tina Turner. What's her name, Victoria Monet, like all those years of being a writer and doing music to finally get to that place that she, like, though don't think that, because that message was sent out, like a girl felt inspired to do a TikTok and spread that message to where it inspired my friend to see it and send it to me, and I sent it to somebody else. I want to post it because it's like you have to hear that sometimes. Like it's not always this overnight thing. We get caught up and be like, oh, I've been in this position forever, it's never going to happen for me. There will come a time where it does, but you have to keep going. And I know that's not easy sometimes. It's not easy to stay persistent with things, but if it's a true inner calling, whatever this may be, it doesn't have to just be love, but whatever that true inner calling is, like if it calls to your soul, it is meant for you to live that thing out, that beautiful thing out. This is a long ass reading, a message, but I pray that for those of you who are meant to hear it, you hear it thoroughly, because I know like some people are not going to sit through this. We have short attention spans nowadays. We don't want to hear shit. And look, my sis, she just liked my response. I said, this was a full circle moment," and she said yes, like with the little heart emojis and full circle moment. That's confirmation. She just DM'd me that. It's confirmation. You will have your full circle moment. I don't know what that is. It could be reuniting with a parent, it could be forgiving a parent, it could be all of the above, finding your soulmate, coming into union, finding that wholeness within yourself, that wholeness in the capacity that you haven't reached yet. Not saying that you'll just be completely just whole, where you're just, oh, I just love myself so completely that I won't have bad days, where I won't, feel bad about myself sometimes, but you won't ever experience it to the degree where you feel worthless, or where you stay stuck in that energy, you snap out of it and you call yourself back to center and be like, nah, we're not doing that. We are love, we are lovable, we are lovers, and we deserve to fall in love with life, even when it's toughest times, where you can find the beauty in the season of challenge. Like that's one thing that I can say that I do love about myself. Find something that you love about yourself today. But that's one thing that I can say that I love about myself, is that it might take me a minute to get to that place where I find the beauty in a situation that was challenging for me or painful, but I have the ability to do that, and that is enough. Like that's a beautiful thing to be like, that was fucked up, but I could see the beauty in the situation because of X, Y, and Z. So love up on yourself today, every fucking day. Work with some, I'm seeing like these colors, like obviously my setup is pink, it's red, white. Work with some pink, red, white, some yellow, some green energy. Um, just tap into the essence of that, or visualize those colors before you go to bed, before you wake up, or work with those colors, wear those colors. Maybe if you're into candles too, like, get you some plants, get you some earth in your life. Okay, get you some mama earth. Let her love up on you as you're present, and you smell, you touch grass, you touch the trees, something, and you sit with your eyes closed and you listen to the birds, the sounds around you, the trees moving, the cars, the loudness around you, the city, whatever. Allow yourself to be centered and just feel and present. Smell the energy. Don't stand next to some dog shit, because you're gonna smell some, something stink. But I don't know, smell flowers or something. I don't know, or some fresh grass or a tree. Some people like the smell of dirt. It's kind of a weird thing. I think it's like some type of uh food addiction, not food addiction, but strange addiction type shit, where people like the smell of dirt. So I don't know, smell some dirt. I don't know, but I'm gonna leave it at that because this is almost a 50-minute long reading, and I was not expecting it to be that. But when I go into the whole testimony, story time, it takes up a lot of time. But nothing is without purpose. So I hope that this reading resonated. The messages resonated with you, and I'm sending you guys much love as always. Be blessed, be safe, take care. Peace.